Okay, we're going to lead off tonight with the president of Middlebury College, Laurie Patton.
Good evening, Middlebury Film Festival. This is such a wonderful event. It is our 10th anniversary. Can you believe that? It is extraordinary. We are here for the opening film of the 10th annual New Middlebury Filmmakers Festival. I want to just say, as the president of Middlebury, that we are honored, always honored, to have been a dedicated partner and sponsor of this event since its inception. And I already said this, but those of you who might be new to the festival may not know this story. But Lloyd approached us very early on. I was really new. I just loved everything about Mid, and we started to have coffee, and Lloyd was unstoppable. And so in my first year, we developed a new phrase, which is when someone's really intense and there's no way you can say no, and you like it, and you're just going to find the way and find the money, and that is coffee with Lloyd. And coffee with Lloyd meant anybody. It's like, did you have coffee with Lloyd today? Means you may not have had coffee with Lloyd, but you would have had a coffee with someone that really wanted you to do something. So Lloyd became his own symbol. And truly over the last decade, Lloyd and his exceptional team have achieved remarkable milestones. Here we are, and we feel like we've always been here. And we at Middlebury College are immensely proud of their accomplishments. We are thrilled to continue our partnership with the festival and eagerly anticipate another outstanding 10 years of collaboration. And although sad, this marks Lloyd's final year in this role, you're still going to have coffee with Lloyd, no matter what. We are delighted that he's going to continue to offer his guidance and support to the festival. So everybody has a button. Can we just do a really big thank you, Lloyd? Huge. Everybody out. Thank you, Lloyd. Woo! There we go. Much better. So there's going to be a lot more appreciation and I know one-on-one thanks to Lloyd. I just want to say a couple of other things. Again, the mark of an established cultural institution. We have Caitlin Boyle, who is going to be taking over for Lloyd. Is Caitlin here tonight? There she is. Okay, if you could just... And we're going to be hearing more about Caitlin a little bit later on, but she just has to be featured now as well. And Jay Craven is going to remain artistic director. Where is Jay? He's incredible. Somewhere, there he is. Yay, okay. You're going to be hearing more from them, but I just wanted to note these leadership shifts because that's about how institutions roll and how we move forward. And it's kind of amazing as a community together now, we have a memory, we have a cultural memory of when it started and its charismatic origins, as I say in my field, the study of religion. No, you're not a prophet yet, Lloyd, but you might be soon, right? Literally, the Middlebury, as I mentioned, the New Filmmakers Festival made its debut in 2015. That year, it received 320 film submissions, and 93 of them were selected for screening. This year, the festival received an impressive 585 film submissions and is showcasing 131 outstanding films from those submissions. Really great data. I will just say, as a leader of a small liberal arts and sciences college, the more your selectivity rate goes down, the more you can feature it. It's wonderful, but people get more and more mad at you. So just be aware. It's awesome progress, and there's a price to pay. And out of the 131 films tonight, we are here tonight to watch Super/Man, the Christopher Reeve Story. And this documentary explores the extraordinary life of Christopher Reeve, an outstanding actor, director, author, and activist. I want to offer a warm and appreciative welcome to Reeve's half-brother, Jeff Johnson. Is Jeff here tonight? There. Jeff is a resident of Castleton. There's always these amazing, cool people everywhere in Vermont, and then they appear, who is joining us in the audience tonight. We all know and remember Christopher Reeve for his acclaimed and respected performance as Superman in 1978, and in the movie's 3 sequels, as well as his notable roles in films including Somewhere in Time, The Bostonians, and The Remains of the Day. In 1995, as all of us probably are aware, Reeve was thrown from a horse during an equestrian competition, and tragically he was paralyzed from the neck down, requiring a wheelchair and a ventilator for the rest of his life. And faced with this catastrophic injury, he found a new purpose, dedicating his life to activism and lobbying for spinal injury research and for better insurance coverage for people with disabilities. That is something that we celebrate here, also in this newly renovated Dana Auditorium, which is super accessible now for people of all different kinds of abilities. So it's really very apropos that we are seeing this film in this auditorium tonight. And you might remember also with his wife, Dana, Charles Morosini Reeve, a Middlebury alum from the class of 1984. Woo! They founded and led the Christopher and Dana Reeve Foundation, which is dedicated to finding treatments and cures for paralysis caused by spinal cord injury and other neurological disorders. And I just have to note the Kelly Brush Ride, which is also very interested in that work. Middlebury is a place where, which really cares about these kinds of injuries and hosts many different events to address that. He also co-founded the Reeve Irvine Research Center, which focuses on basic scientific research to discover novel approaches to improve recovery of function after spinal cord injury. Christopher Reeve died on October 10th, 2004, at the age of 52, not long after he and Dana received honorary doctorates of humane letters from Middlebury and co-delivered the commencement address in May. Dana was diagnosed with lung cancer in August 2005 and died on March 6th, 2006, at the age of 44. Their son, Will, is a reporter for ABC News and a Middlebury College graduate of 2014. And he comes to us almost every year to be with us for the Citizens Awards for students who do outstanding work and become true community citizens. So it's very moving always to have Will with us and to think about the award that his family sponsored. So I want to end, before we turn to the film and some of the other speakers before we open the film, to say a couple things. I've had students come up to me now in the last couple of weeks who are here for the summer doing research or ending their time at the language schools and saying, oh yeah, I think I'm going to stay for the film festival. They talk about the film festival as if it's always been here. It's always a weird thing when then you say, well, you were there at the beginning, and they ask you that if you knew FDR or something like that. And that isn't the case, but it's really a true accomplishment, and it's a work of an entire community when this kind of thing can be thought of by the younger generation as just a thing that we've always done and that we can participate in. The other thing I want to say, I think that is in addition to just really celebrating new talent, welcoming that intergenerational refreshment that has to happen in every field. I think the festival has also become a place for continuing friendships and renewing friendships. I can speak from personal experience because I was a theater major before I became a scholar of religion. I didn't continue with it for all sorts of reasons, but I was very close with a woman named Neela Wagman at Harvard when we were all in the Harvard Theater Seminar together. I did not see Neela for literally 40 years, and she appeared as an entrant and a wonderful feature in this film festival 2 years ago. And after 40 years, we renewed a friendship, talked about theater left, right, and center because I got to be with a professional then, and it was an extraordinary moment. And the film festival really created that. And I've seen that over and over again, where people make and renew friendships in just really wonderful ways. And that also is a true mark of a great cultural institution. So on this 10th anniversary, I just want to congratulate us, to remind us that our evening's film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival earlier this year and has received universal acclaim from critics. So thank you to Lloyd and to all those at the festival who made tonight's screening possible, and the festival in general, the vibrant, wonderful occasion that it is. Thanks, and go Mid, and go Middlebury.
Way too quiet in here. Come on. That's better. A little bit of laughter, or a little bit of anticipatory laughter. I wrote it down again this year. I wrote it down. There was a time when I didn't write it down. I just basically fake it till you make it. But I really want to, first of all, Laurie, that was great. Thank you so much. Really appreciate everything you said. I had no idea about the buttons. I swear to God. Okay, I really had no idea. But they look cool. They're very nice. Well, I want to welcome you all to the 10th anniversary Middlebury New Filmmakers Festival. I am Lloyd Komesar, it is true, and I am your festival producer for just a few more weeks. Laurie, I just wanted to thank you, of course, for a gracious introduction and all of that. But I'm thinking back to your beautiful installation ceremony in October of 2015, right? Because I took part in that ceremony in the processional representing my alma mater, and wearing that like super cool, colorful regalia. It was a nice event. It was a real treat for me, and I liked you then, and I like you even more now. I appreciate that. And I really want to wish you spectacular success as the new president of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences. I think these folks are incredibly fortunate to have you. So I hope you enjoy yourself and do good work. That's my wish for you. And everybody give Laurie a round of applause for... It used to be, I could say, some of you may know that this is my last festival as the MNFF producer, and now more of you know that. And apparently I was on VPR this morning, and about 100 of you have come up to me and said, hey man, nice interview. Okay, it was good. I like Jen Jarecki. I'm very comfortable talking to her, and so it turned out well. It's been really, for me, an unforgettable 10-year run. And as we get ready to introduce our marvelous new executive director, Caitlin Boyle, tonight, I want to thank all of you for helping Jay and I build this little festival into, I don't know, something quite special over these years. Our first decade will soon be behind us, and our next decade will begin. So let us all together endeavor to, through our good words, our positive thoughts, and our steadfast financial support, to keep the Middlebury New Filmmakers Festival the singular and joyful event that it truly is. Let me start with our many sponsors who are here tonight, beginning with our wonderful presenting sponsor, IPJ Real Estate. And yes, and Amy will be up to speak here shortly, and she'll speak just shortly. Right, Amy? Yes, okay. Also, I just also want to acknowledge all the other members of the great MNFF sponsor family, including our awesome hosts tonight, Middlebury College, and I want to do a shout out to the trustees who are here tonight. Thank you for coming. For all of them, all of our sponsors who have been with us from the beginning, from our embryonic days, really thank you for everything you have done, and no less thanks for those who've come aboard more recently. Without you and your unstinting support, there is no festival, and I'll repeat this several times during these few remarks. So we are immensely grateful for all the sponsors who started with us way back and have stayed with us year after year. It's good, very, very good. We appreciate it. To our many loyal donors, including those folks who dream up and support great ideas like our recent and ongoing 10 for the 10th campaign, hello, Michelle and Bruce, or lend their names to distinctive programs like the MNFF Franklin Film Development Fund, hello, Churchill and Janet, or those of you who fund so many of our fabulous filmmaker prizes, and hello to many of you who are here tonight, or those of you who donate to the MNFF Travel Fund, which helped this year 25 filmmakers get to the festival who otherwise would not have come. Or there's just a growing number of community residents who just give generously because they want to see us succeed. To all of you, our humble thanks. And without you, there is no festival. I want to take a minute to give a shout out to Matt Haywood, who is our brilliant graphic designer. I've really never properly thanked him in public for creating the beautiful look and the feel of this festival. So here's to you, my friend, Matt, wherever you are out there. Where's Matt? Matt Haywood. I want to thank you for the hundreds of hours we have spent in the trenches, coming up with the ideas and working out the details and just getting it done in the crunch. You've been a godsend. You are a saint. And without you, and I kid you not, there is no festival. Thank you. To the hundreds of first and second time filmmakers, many of whom are down at the Marquee Theater partying, to the many who have come from around the world to Middlebury over this first decade and who are arriving now to share with us their stellar work and ebullient personalities at our 10th anniversary, we welcome you and thank you for letting us showcase your films and be part of your emergence as true independent filmmakers. From now on, you will all be our treasured alums. And without you, as we say when we're getting the festival ready, no film, no festival. Without you, there is no festival. There's nothing to see. To our two festival honorees joining us tonight, Vermont filmmakers Bess O'Brien and Andy Mitchell, we are all enriched by your work, and we are inspired by your passion for making bold and game-changing films. Thank you for being part of our 10th anniversary celebration. I wish if you could just please stand and accept a warm round of applause, Bess and Andy. And you can find their work during the festival. Come and support. To our numerous festival volunteers who do so many essential jobs for us, all with smiles on their faces, our generous host families who take in strangers known as filmmakers for days at a time, make them feel at home here, and pick them up and then drop them off at the airport. To our dedicated venue managers who give it their all to make the fest run smoothly. To all of you fine folks, we say thank you for so much for your generosity and time and goodwill. And truly, without you, there is no festival. To our outstanding MNFF board, I like you all a lot, and led by our ball of fire chair, Liz Robinson, thank you for the numerous contributions you make to our success, the insights you bring to our deliberations, and the artful way you implemented our succession plan that has brought us a shining star. Just know that I look forward to continuing the journey with all of you as we forge ahead into this new decade of MNFF. Without you, there is no festival. And I'd like to ask our board members to please stand and accept a round of extremely well-deserved applause. Board members. Thank you, all of you. To Jay Craven, my great partner from the very beginning, from day one, thank you for agreeing to be our artistic director, Jay. That was way back when this was just a fanciful notion, this festival. And thanks for staying the course down through the years, and thanks for all you have done to imbue the Middlebury New Filmmakers with substance and class. It has been a privilege to work with you. It goes without saying, although knowing me, I will say it anyway, that without you, there never would have been a festival. Thanks, Jay. And if you would give Jay a huge round of applause, I would appreciate it. I do need to introduce my staff. Are they in the room? If not, perhaps, Hannah, can we bring them in there? Oh, look at this. They're walking in. Oh, that is great. So this is the last but never least part of my remarks. To bring to your attention our small but mighty MNFF staff, our merry band of festival warriors who have worked their tails off, believe me, to bring you this year's 10th anniversary celebration. Let me introduce them to you right now. First, the awesome Hannah Leffler, our indefatigable associate producer. You don't know this, but Hannah is the true glue that holds this festival together, and I kid you not. Thank you, Hannah. And now our splendid interns, a crew that I have actually really enjoyed working with these past 3 months. They get along great. They're funny. They're creative. They make me laugh. Apparently, I make them laugh. It's all good. Our production interns, first, a rising senior from Middlebury College, Francesca Medeiros. A rising senior from Middlebury College, Mariah Thompson. And although she is not here tonight, we feel her spirit. From University of Vermont, a rising senior, Regan O'Brien, and we will all give her a shout out for all the work she did. And now our pair of videography interns who have done great work this summer, a rising senior from the University of Vermont, Veronica Hulbert. And finally, a rising junior from Middlebury College, Jose Antonio Hernandez Morales. So this one goes without saying, but if you're in the trenches with us in our office at 5 Court Street, you will understand that without these folks, this simply is no festival. It's just the way it is. So I'd like you to get one more round of applause for these hardworking students and for Hannah Leffler. You guys can go off that way. Thank you. So as the team leaves the stage, I would like all of you to spend a couple of minutes enjoying our MNFF 10th anniversary festival trailer, created by Veronica Hulbert with help from Jose Antonio Hernandez Morales. Enjoy it. Throughout the years, all of our trailers have been made by our interns, and it's one of the first things that I ask them to do when we have enough films and enough trailers from filmmakers that they can start cutting it together. And every year, I think I am absolutely thrilled by the work that they do and under pressure. And we're proud to see them sort of start down a path where they can edit and do things that are thematic. So this year I thought was particularly good. Thank you. And now let me welcome to the stage the artistic director of the Middlebury New Filmmakers Festival, Jay Craven. Jay.
Wow. What a night and what an occasion this is. Welcome to MNFF. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. That's one thing we maybe... All right, I'll do that next time. Just think about it. 10, a cultural touchstone, a Pythagorean symbol of perfection, wholeness, and unity. 10 toes, 10 fingers, 10 Downing Street, a perfect 10, a 5 and 5 ones. Don't go near it with a 10-foot pole. I mean, nobody ever said don't go near it with a 6-foot pole. Even the movies, 2010, Space Odyssey. Nobody got it. Okay. For these, 2001 was a rough year. For these 10 years, I've enjoyed a very productive and fun partnership with our producer, Lloyd Komesar. I remember during our first meeting discussing the idea of the festival, I said, "So you'll be the producer." Now, I could tell that Lloyd hadn't really considered this idea or what it might mean. He'd spent a good 25 years at Disney, but not as a producer. This would be different. He'd call the shots, be the bottom line, but he instantly warmed to the idea as if putting on a new jacket to see if it would fit. And it did. He has become a natural. He's brought meaning to the role and to the festival beyond anything I would have imagined. He understood this unique opportunity to forge culture, community, and connection. He has found new ways to make that happen. Lloyd is a force, a visionary, a diplomat, a problem solver. He's fast on his feet. He's tireless, patient, he leads the charge, and drives a hard bargain. As Laurie said, he is unstoppable. He's an excellent and respectful collaborator. He's a loyal friend to every filmmaker who has ever played this festival, except one. And he's deeply valued friend to me. But we now part company, sort of. Lloyd will remain on our board, and you and I will both see him, I know. He holds many keys to this wonderful and very productive kingdom, but he is leaving this role of key producer, and he will be missed. But as we celebrate these 10 years, we must also relish our 10-year partnership with the Middlebury community. The venues, stores, restaurants, nonprofits, the town itself, and especially Middlebury College, the Addison Independent, and the especially important Middlebury Town Hall Theater and staff as our key partners. I can't think of another Vermont town, very honestly, that would have been so right for what we do, or that would respond so fully and with such generosity and a shared conviction that this was the right time and the right place for this ambitious undertaking. The embrace was immediate, and so we should actually also give a round of applause to the people who, frankly, are in this room who've made it happen. And let's not forget our filmmakers. On Monday, we watched the festival's film trailers over the last 10 years, as we did tonight. And as we watch them, I am constantly struck by the vitality, the diversity, the indomitability, the emotional complexity, the purpose and passion of the people captured on screen. This is the work of independent filmmakers, seen in transcendent moments of becoming. It is to celebrate this life force that we make this festival happen and commit it to the next 10 years. And yes, now we shift gears to new leadership and new vision as we warmly welcome Caitlin Boyle as our new executive director. Our festival is in its 10th year, but knowing this day would come, I have been looking in every corner of Vermont for the past 50 years, 3 months, and 19 days for the kind of person who could succeed Lloyd. I knew this day was coming. And apart from my plucky wife, Bess O'Brien, which is a whole other story, I have only found one person in Vermont who seemed up to the task, and that is Caitlin. She has spent the last 17 years working to advance independent filmmakers and their work. She has championed some 400 projects and given them life in an extremely difficult and competitive and hyper-commercialized film market that can be impossible to navigate. In that sense, she understands truly, I think, the work that we have done over these last years, and that Lloyd exemplifies unceasing support for independent filmmakers and their journey. Through fertile imagination, sharp intelligence, well-honed strategic instincts, and tenacity, she has succeeded where most people, frankly, would have surrendered, and where many of the filmmakers that she has championed would have also done so. She is highly respected throughout the indie film world and promises to take our festival forward in new and exciting ways. Please welcome Middlebury New Filmmakers Festival new Executive Director, Caitlin Boyle.
Wow. Hi, everyone. Thank you for the very warm welcome. It is an honor to be here tonight, and it is an even greater honor to step into the role of Executive Director of the Middlebury New Filmmakers Festival. I want to express my gratitude first and foremost to Lloyd and to Jay and to the entire festival board. Thank you for placing your trust in me, and I think I should share that I'm particularly excited to be here because the mission of this festival feels very close to my heart. When I first started in this field, a few years in, I started a small distribution company called Film Sprout in 2009. And in that role, I worked with a mix of filmmakers, both veteran filmmakers on their 9th or 10th films and emerging filmmakers in their first rodeo. And I was struck by how the traditional industry culture, even in the indie film world, didn't serve either group particularly well. It often pits filmmakers against one another for funding and for recognition and for distribution. And it often obscures and divides those with experience from those without it. And I couldn't figure out why. So at Film Sprout, we tried an alternative way. For 10 years, we leaned away from the scarcity and the competition of the conventional model, and we tried to lean into the enthusiasm and the activism of grassroots groups and local organizers and college campuses to bring films straight to the places that were hungry for them and who frankly didn't care what the trade said or what the studios thought. We ignored the advice that tells filmmakers to keep their ideas and their plans and their creativity close to the vest. And we instead helped filmmakers learn from each other's wins and mistakes and encouraged them to share with each other and to ask each other for advice. We also coached filmmakers through the very Byzantine process of finishing and distributing their films with a commitment to optimism. I have a poem hanging in my kitchen from the farmer philosopher Wendell Berry that says, "Be joyful, though you have considered all the facts." And I think this approach isn't just about making better films, it's about making a better community for filmmakers. The creative engines of the film industry are powered by talent and perseverance and hope, and the machine of the conventional film industry can very easily dash the hope part of that equation. But why not make our industry a safe and supportive place for those hopes to thrive? Veteran documentary editor and director Sam Pollard says there are 3 things that all beginning filmmakers need to do: be tenacious, be patient, and be respectful. And I think Lloyd and Jay, you have urged us to go one step further, to add, as I think you said today in your Vermont Public interview, the joy factor. This feels like a little bit of an act of resistance, doesn't it? In a culture that is run through with division, it is a little subversive to say, we're not going to do that here. We're here to lift up the tenacity and the patience of early career filmmakers and to pay our respects to veteran directors and producers. And ultimately, we're here to do that in a spirit of joyful celebration. So, in this new role, I hope that I can continue to shape this event not only as a showcase for new talent, but also a beacon of camaraderie and community for those who are navigating the tricky, inchoate process of becoming a filmmaker. To Lloyd, to Jay, to the board, I'm so appreciative of the mission that you have created for this festival and for giving me the opportunity to carry it forward. And to the entire Middlebury community, I want you to know that I am here to grow and to try new things, and also to keep in place all of the things that you have delighted in these last 10 years. I look forward to meeting and getting to know all of you. I'll turn it over now to Amy Ryan of IPJ Real Estate, our presenting sponsor. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Caitlin. I'd like to take another moment and just congratulate Lloyd on a job well done. I realize he's not going anywhere, and that'll be a part of this event for years to come, but he's handing this off to clearly very capable hands, and we're all excited to see where the next 10 years goes. 10 years, wow. When Lloyd asked me, probably 11-ish plus years ago, about bringing a film festival to this town, I was impressed from the start. He was so enthusiastic about something I knew absolutely nothing about. He had this plan to bring a vibrancy here, the likes of which this community has really never seen before. And what the film festival really does is capitalize on the fact that Middlebury, Vermont is a really cool place. And we love it here, and we love what the film festival represents to our community. Look around, you see neighbors, but you also see many new faces. And for a small state like Vermont, our businesses succeed and thrive on tourism and local support. At IPJ Real Estate, we're in very good company with the other local businesses that put their financial support behind events just like this. Our boutique real estate firm has been in this community since 2006, and we have over 100 years of professional experience that we bring to the table. We've made it this far with great success because we believe that the consumer and the community are one and the same, and that's a theme we've heard tonight, community. We're grateful for the opportunity to be here, to support the festival, and to welcome you to Middlebury. Enjoy the festival.
Well, our last speaker tonight, the origins of his appearance here started in a message, a voicemail on my phone that said roughly, "Hi, this is Jeff Johnson. I understand you're going to be showing a film about Christopher Reeve, and I would like to get a ticket to opening night, but apparently it's sold out. Perhaps you could help me. I am Christopher Reeve's half-brother, and I live near Castleton, Vermont. Here's the number where you can call me," which then I did. And we had a lovely chat, and I think that Jeff Johnson has a few things to say to us tonight before we launch into Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. So without further ado, Jeff, please come to the stage. Jeff Johnson.
Thank you, Lloyd. You're a lively crowd, exactly the type of crowd Chris would have loved. Small detail, I graduated from Middlebury College as well. And trust me, graduating from Middlebury was a big accomplishment for Jeff. And so on that graduation day, it was no surprise that a good number of family members came to Middlebury for the event, and included was Chris. After the graduation, we sat for lunch at the circle tables outside of Proctor, filled up one table with our family, and sure enough, the table next door was filled with largely young ladies. And it didn't take long before Superman. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Superman. And then, whoo, 4 or 5 chairs leaning over fell to their back, arms and legs flailing in the sky. A scene that would be repeated in the Christopher Reeve story. It's a rich story, and thank you all very much for being here to see it and for your interest in it. It is rich. Of course, it has the stardom and the tragedy that most of you are familiar with. It has the anxiety of family members sitting in a hospital waiting room trying to comfort Dana and their young son, Will, and looking into a bleak future. It has the determination of a man who worked very, very hard. I can remember riding bike with him when he was training for Superman, and it being very short, not long, before he'd be miles ahead of me up the hill. I'm in the dust because he was going to get in shape by himself. And I remember also the time he said, "Jeff, come on over here. I got something to tell you." And I came over, and he had been working in the rehab at Kessler. And he said, "I worked so hard today, my eyebrow muscles hurt." To which I drove home thinking to myself, boy, did I even know I had eyebrow muscles? And if I did, what would I do with them? It is a story, of course, with some degree of success and some great achievements. He called me over another time and said, "Jeff, look." He was sitting in his wheelchair and on the rest arm on one side with a big smile, Chris's smile. He slowly but surely raised that index finger, something he was told he'd never be able to do. And he did it with great pride, a product of a lot of his work. There's also, going back in time, a lot of sweetness, like going to bed at night with my family and sleeping to the sound of his piano playing, which was sweet. And finally, there's the family piece. The film will make a lot about the broken family that he came from. I found it a little disappointing that they didn't make more of his efforts to bring the family together, which he did consistently, whether it was through renting large homes for Christmas so that the family members could gather, whether it was buying a big home in Williamstown himself, which he envisioned to be a great playground for all the family members to come and join, or whether it was just the times he spent around the table telling stories, something he loved to do and got us all laughing and having a great time. And with that spirit of storytelling that he loves so much, I'll tell you one little story and turn it back to Lloyd here. And the story goes something like this. It was early in his career, pre-Superman. He was working on a soap opera called Love of Life at the time. And one of his bring together acts, he invited my younger brother Kevin and myself to Manhattan to see the Broadway musical Godspell. And we saw it. It was a great play, of course, but what I remember more is the walk home and going into Penn Station late at night and the dark alleys and the graffiti and Chris's breath getting a little bit shorter as we walked further and further in the alleys. And down at the end, a very large group of young, strong men coming our way. And Chris saying, "Let's go, let's go, let's go." And they passed and circled, and one of them yelled out, "Hold up!" And Chris said, come on, get moving." But Kevin and I were too slow, and they circled us. And there we were, 3 of us, about 12 of them. And the leader, who had every bit of menacing description you could give to him in his dress and makeup, stood forward holding an umbrella, much like Al Capone held a machine gun. And the tip of it, he'd raised it to Chris's face and then to his throat. And he said in his grimacing voice, "Don't you treat your mother that way." And he was referring, of course, to his role as a villain in the soap opera Love of Life. His response was pre-Clark Kentian in its mannerism. Yes, sir, I'll do what," and on it went. At any rate, thank you very much for being here. I hope you enjoy the film.